Alrighty. Hey, everybody.
Kennedy, happy Friday.
Happy Friday, Dr. Irvin. How's your week?
It's been an interesting week, I can tell you that.
Same here. Same here.
Yeah, so
Well,
I understand this is you getting back in getting back in the swing of things on campus. How's that going?
yeah, first week of classes, it was first week of junior year. It was pretty cool. It was a little hectic, but still trying to get my books. But it's all right. Everything's been good. So I will say I'm excited to be back on campus, though. Definitely that.
Hopefully, everyone will do what they're supposed to do so we can stay on campus.
That's true. I think a lot of teachers are still having some students in my classes. I've noticed like they'll walk in without a mask, and I'm just like, okay, put your mask on. Like that's the whole purpose
Yeah,
of us being in person. And some of my teachers, like Dr. Orr, he's trying to figure out how he wants to, because it's a 28-person classroom, but our classroom is not that big in the College of Liberal Arts. So he's trying to figure out how to operate the classroom, whether he wants students to come on Monday or Wednesday or, Friday. So we're getting back into the swing of things.
a lot of logistics to be done. But how's the atmosphere with Miami coming up? What's the feel on campus?
Honestly, I think a lot of people are excited. I'm not even gonna lie to you. The Miami kind of came pretty fast. I'm not gonna lie. I knew it was next week, but I just didn't realize how close it was. That was the only thing. So, but I feel like everybody is excited. A lot of people are going. A lot of people can't. But I think the only thing that people are nervous about is it's Hurricane Ida, and so that's the only issue.
That's the only thing. They're not worried about COVID at all.
I'm definitely worried about COVID. I think a lot of people are worried about COVID, but I know as long as I do my part and wear my mask and I'm vaccinated, that's all I can say really. Just make sure I'm protected. So
yeah.
Are you still thinking about going to Miami, or you said yeah?
Yeah, I'm out. I'm not going. What was the atmosphere like yesterday at the organizational fair?
It was very fun. So if some people are on here, I'm Miss Pre-Law for the Fannie Lou Pre-Law Society. And so we were all at the organization fair. We had at least about 30 new people that are interested in the organization. So that was really good. We just talked about the society, the purpose on campus. And that's really just to inform people about legal education, bring awareness to, law, politics, not only that, LSAT prep, and just giving them exposure to either internships, externships, or just other opportunities concerning law. So it was really fun. We had a great turnout.
Mm-hmm. I hear through the grapevine that you got a new advisor.
Yeah. Our new advisor is the man himself, Dr. Charles Irvin.
Oh, wow. Is that me? Yeah. So with that being said, I hope the people who are listening understand that we're gonna be asking you for funds because the Fannie Lou Hamer Pre-Law Society needs money.
Yes, we do. We need some money. All right. Well, let me go ahead and jump into the research that I found this week. The reason why I chose the title of this week, Safety versus Politics, because a lot of times in the news lately, it's just been about COVID over politics a lot of times between political governmental officials. And a prime example is between Florida's governor, DeSantis, I think that's how you say his name.
Ron DeSantis.
Yes, and between Joe Biden. And they're squaring off about, really they're talking about the Florida governor's response to COVID. Because as you all know, Florida's numbers have been the highest throughout the whole pandemic, and it hasn't stopped or slowed down. They've hosted concerts, hosted the game. So they've just been going back and forth. It's kind of tit for tat. I think one of the things that Biden said that he suggested to DeSantis actions were not good for Floridians, and the governor responded that he didn't want to hear a blip from Biden on coronavirus. My question for you, Dr. Irvin, that I really wanted to know, I know about how the government works, but does it come a point, like it's always still questions that I have, does it come a point in time where the president will step in and like, veto whatever the governor has to say? Because it will
Doesn't
never
quite
happen. It
doesn't
will
quite
never
work that
happen.
way. So you have separations of power, which is called basically your federalism, meaning that there is a divide in how power is doled out in the federal government. But you also have state supremacy clauses, meaning that those states are sovereign.
Wow.
So the things that can be regulated by the president within the state are federal funds, uh, airports, federal programs. Uh, Prime example would be the moratorium on housing leases,
Yeah.
those type of things. Tax dollars through the IRS, because if you notice, Florida doesn't have state income tax. Uh,
Yeah.
so there are certain things that yes, the president can step in on anything that's within his purview or portfolio, things that are attached to federal dollars.
So
But
he can't even say anything like about the mask mandate either, even though this is like a whole pandemic. Biden can't even like force a mask mandate
he
in
can
some of
force
these
the
states.
mask on federal property.
Wow.
There are federal properties all over the United States, but for states, you know, he can even enforce stuff on federal interstates. But states have a right to govern and provide laws for their citizens. So that's why you see such disparities.
I really, you study law a lot, your whole life, but I still didn't know that even in certain situations like this, I thought he could still step in. So, like, how are we supposed to still like try to get out of this pandemic and there's no mask mandate in some of these states that are, have the highest in hospitals and everything when it comes to
I
COVID cases?
mean,
Like,
that's a slippery slope if you're asking the president to take over all 50 states.
that is
There
true.
is a way to do that, but I don't think we would actually go there because that's a form of martial law, meaning an action of federal, basically superpowers, uh, which are for things like 9/11. Um,
Okay.
but
Okay.
um, it may come to that. Hopefully, it won't come to that.
Hopefully it won't either. I do want to say it's so far more Floridians favor the Biden White House's position that schools should be able to require masks than the DeSantis position. And so this is another question. Oh, also I wanted to say Quantipic University poll released the poll on Tuesday, and it said that it found 54% of Floridians backed mask mandates in schools, while 44% said it should be up to parents. And this is the one question that I really wanted to ask you because I kind of saw it on social media. And do you feel as though um, Biden has handled the pandemic any differently than Trump? Like, do you think that it's gotten better or worse in your professional
Well,
opinion?
I think he's done a masterful job. Here's the problem, though.
Oh,
When when he was getting those vaccines out early on in the first 100 days, he did a wonderful job. But then he started getting all of this resistance from these state governors.
oh,
And
okay,
so that then turned into political talk, political speak, which trickled down to households, and now everybody's in an uproar. If you remember several weeks back, I was talking about how you can't enter public school education without your shots for
yeah,
measles, mumps, chickenpox, a whole list of things. This is no different.
okay, okay,
I think where Biden may have some sway inside the schools is that the schools take some federal money, so he has to figure out how to use those purse strings to make it hurt.
okay, then. All
Uh,
right. Just by the way, I wanted to mention the Pfizer vaccine just was approved by the FDA for you anti-vaxxers. Just wanted to put that
Was
out
that
there.
Pfizer?
Yeah, the Pfizer one. Yep.
Yeah,
So that's one of the less argument that you guys can use to not get the vaccine. It's approved by FDA already.
yeah. I mean, you're always gonna have a crowd that can't take the vaccine due to health issues. I think that's legitimate. They have pre-existing conditions that may not gel well with that type of medication. That's an individual thing they need to consult with their doctors on. But you have these other group of people who are under that umbrella talking about their rights and liberties, and it blows my mind because one, if you're in business, this is good business to get people vaccinated because then you can actually open up for business. Two, if you're an individual coming in contact or working in the public, don't you want to be safe?
Exactly. And I think what I did when I was transitioning coming back down south, like in DC, when Biden put the mask mandate back in effect, people were wearing it. And then when I came back to Texas, and I was just like, wow, like it was my first time walking around, and I walk in stores with my mask on. You just see people just walking like it's nothing. I'm just like,
Yeah,
are we not in a pandemic? Same thing in Mississippi. I'm like, are we? Is this normal?
yeah. I mean, but then that goes to ideologies. I mean, the states that are treating it very, very seriously and very, very reverently and doing the things that they can, those states have lower transmission rates. Look at Florida's transmission rate. Look at Mississippi's transmission rate. I mean, they're at the breaking point of crisis.
Very true. And now that we're talking about pandemic and everything like that, for some parents I know that's watching the show, Friday, which is today, was the deadline for JPS parents to decide on virtual learning. The Board of Trustees of Jackson Public Schools agreed to offer a virtual learning option to those in grades pre-K through sixth grade only. They said the response to this to the rise in local COVID-19 rates and revised guidance from the Mississippi Department of Education, and they made a statement from the JPS saying how our plan addresses the growing concerns of our families and other stakeholders, particularly for scholars who cannot be vaccinated. And it says virtual learning will begin September 2nd, but it is not offered to grades 7 through 12. But one thing I will say, it kind of sucks is that if you choose the virtual option, you're ineligible to participate in field trips, district-based after-school programs, or any extracurricular activities. So in my case, you're just being homeschooled. Really?
Yeah,
And it's sad. The
yeah. I
students.
mean, on one hand, though, I can understand that because part of that is just precautionary. You don't want to mix into those populations for the sake of extracurricular things.
Exactly.
If you're
But
going
that
to
puts
choose that,
parents in a pickle. That
yeah,
puts
if you're
parents
going to
in.
choose that option, then you probably have a reason for choosing that option. So it's better to stay on the conservative side on that. At least they're offering the option. I applaud them for that.
That is true. A lot of schools have really are offering the option, or it's just online strictly. And I still think, with the rise of some of the COVID numbers, especially in Mississippi, today I know IHL hosted a press conference trying to decide if they wanted to do virtual classes again, or if we can still even host certain events on campus in person. So it's kind
Yeah,
of sadly in these states we're coming back to the beginning of the pandemic again.
yeah. I mean, and a lot of that is we let. So again, Biden was doing a great job. His administration was doing a great job, but then these governors saw that and started playing politics because his approval ratings were up. So they started playing chicken with people's lives. And then you get a variant that comes out of it, which is the natural course of any virus. I mean, it's not like the virus is doing something wrong. That's what viruses do. They mutate. And now they find themselves in a worse position. It reminds me of the beginning of the pandemic when uh, former President Trump was saying, "Oh, it's just like the flu. It's nothing serious." But the whole time he knew how bad it would be.
Exactly.
Well, I think that's the curtain call for Kennedy. uh, so we'll do we'll do a quick wrap around on a couple issues, and then we're gonna get out of here. We're gonna have a short show. Leslie is out taking care of some things, and Kennedy has someone in the background, like she's at the airport, that is telling her it's time to go. You don't
Sorry.
have to leave. You got to leave here, but you don't have to leave campus.
Yeah, they don't like us in the library after 5. I
Yeah,
understand.
yeah. So we're gonna do a short show. So now you're going to Miami. Talk to me about what precautions you're gonna take in your travel.
Okay, so I'm gonna pack some Lysol. I already brought Lysol down here too. Like as soon as I moved in, Lysol everything. I'm also gonna buy some wipes, but I probably might buy some wipes down there, depending on if my if my luggage is 50 pounds or not. Because girls travel with a
Why do
lot
you
of.
need so much luggage for?
Okay, yes, but it's Miami, so it's different events. You gotta. You're
And how
going
long are
every.
you going to be in Miami?
Going to be on Miami from Thursday to Monday.
Okay. No wonder you need 50 pounds of luggage. So you're
And
flying.
then
How
I'm
many
gonna
people?
pack
How
up.
many people are going?
It's gonna be me, my friend Shanice, Kelsey, Kyla, and my friend Josh. So yeah, it's gonna be all
So,
6 of us in total.
so y'all got to have a communication strategy for distancing in the group. Has everybody been vaccinated?
Yes, everybody. Well, only one person she hasn't, but she has scheduled her vaccine. So she could only. That was the only available appointment she could get after Miami. So it's. But I am packing a mask. I'm packing a full box of masks. I already have some in my room too, and in my car. I always keep some in my car. So we're always gonna have masks. Lysol, wipes. What else? Making sure we're social distancing. If we're walking down South Beach and we see it's like too big of crowds everywhere, we already agree we're just gonna go back home. We'll just have a party back at home. Cause I know it's Miami, but I don't want to get to the point where I got to keep my head on a swivel because also sex trafficking with girls
Yeah.
and things of that
You have
nature.
to be safe at all times.
Yes,
So that's why I wanted to know about the size of your group because you need to look out for each other.
very true. I think we have a nice little special guest that's popping in.
Oh, Leslie, how are you?
Man, I'm fighting through, baby.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we're getting ready. We're getting ready to get out of here because if not, it's gonna be like an episode of Martin, and Kennedy is gonna get grabbed by her shirt and tossed out of the library. So,
Uh-oh.
so we're
Yeah.
getting ready to get out of here. We're just talking practical tips on traveling for the big game since these youngsters are going. I had to go. I had to go a different route with my travel because I got kids that are unvaccinated, and I can't. I don't want to put them in that situation.
Well, unfortunately, I mean, I ended up not going either. Just had to really size it up.
Oh, that's
Uh,
all right. We have a representative that's going.
I'm glad you're gonna hold it down. So
Yeah.
don't be surprised if we hit you for a first candid. Uh, 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 Make sure you take plenty of pictures because we'll be talking about the festivities and hopefully we come back with a W.
And
Yeah.
hopefully they closed off the track, so I can't even use the track. It's only football.
Well, I will give you one shout out to everybody. I did want to just jump in and say hi. I was struggling earlier. My allergies just really been going haywire, but I wanted to keep in mind that this weekend is week 0, and so we do have a Black College game. We do have a swag team playing this weekend in the MEAC Swag Challenge. So the official kickoff of the season starts this week, and I did see where our very own Coach Prime will be headlining College Game Day uh,
Wow.
for on Saturday in Atlanta. So there you go.
Yep.
Even though it's all corn in North Carolina Central, you cannot not talk about Jackson State.
Honestly, yeah. And I saw when I was working out in the gym, it was kind of funny, but I saw Dion. I was like, is he just rolled up in a bike? I'm looking at my friend. I said, do you just see Dion right there?
He
So
is he is a part of campus now. He has
yeah.
ingratiated himself as just a fixture, and that's and I can say this: just being in Dallas and being on the South, he doing a lot of work on the South Side. It was nothing strange to just walk up on a restaurant in the hood and just see him.
Exactly.
And he would, I mean, it wasn't no fanfare or none of that. He was just Dion. And so that's really nothing new. If you've had the opportunity to be around him, so I'm glad you guys have seen that as well.
No, yeah. My mom, she took a picture with him before he became Coach Prime, like long time ago in Dallas. So
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
pretty cool. It was.
Well,
Well,
I'm glad to have you back in Jacktown. Maybe I don't know if you've had a chance, Kenny, to even get to the office yet, but
I did. I got to the office today. It's very
okay.
nice.
Okay.
Y'all both have cool offices. So yeah.
Well, feel free to use mine anytime you desire.
Thank you.
All right, so we're at the deadline. I do not want to see Kennedy get hooked like on the Apollo. So we're going to say have a great weekend, Kennedy, and then we'll wrap it up. All right.
All right. Well, make sure y'all stay safe. It's good to be back in the Jack. Wear your mask, and yeah, I think we're gonna end it right here. Y'all have a good weekend.
All right.